Well, you said that that regular CubeSats are just too big. What would it take in order to fly a CubeSat mission?
And we have flown some CubeSats for folks on some of our high racks, but you end up doing one or two, and that's it. And then without the PongSats and without the secondary experiments on board, so that mission ends up, instead of a $320 mission, that's a $10,000 mission, because it ends up being dedicated for that flight. And then at $10,000, you're just breaking even. You're not actually then using that money to do the other things like pay the rent, pay the power bill, all those other little details in space flight that have to get covered.
Would it be possible to use one of your airships as a launch platform? Like, just thinking about, what if you had one of your airships and launched, once it reached its max altitude, model rockets from it? Do you think that they could reach a high altitude?
Oh, we've done that.
You have?
Yes. If on our website, there's some great pictures from high-speed cameras of model rockets leaving the launch tube. Because we also did the Raccoons, although we hadn't done that in about 6 or 7 years. And the team was rusty. We haven't really done rockets in a while. We used to do quite large rockets as part of the program to deploy our experiments higher. So we did a new fire control system, a new launch detect system. But all those systems, they don't know if you're launching a big rocket or a little rocket. If you're just testing the launch and fire control system and you're getting team training up there, it's a lot easier on a regulatory basis and a cost basis, and you get the exact same data for those systems on a little bitty rocket that you've launched off. And they sit inside launch containers that are keeping them warm, little doors that open up. And so we always love lots of camera work, so lots of cameras. So we have some pictures on our websites of the one red and one green rocket, emerging frame by frame out of the launch tube and flying away.
Wow. Could you do something on a larger scale of the model rockets to actually deliver something close to, or possibly even all the way to orbit? Yes,
we actually, the plan right now for Minikube is the first stage of Minikube that we're flying, they're already flying. The last Minikube flight was last year. We hadn't announced it yet. We just did some with some of the PongSat people doing the more advanced PongSats. We offered them. So we're working out the size, working out the fittings, getting it all tweaked out. We did the first ones last year, and then we did a big flight of using the standardized pre-printed ones. They were on the PongSat flight that we just flew. We flew 7 of them. But the next stage that we'll be starting into next year is using our tandem airship. And on our larger, actually our mid-size Raccoon, it's a 3-inch diameter, 8-inch long rocket. And when fired from 100,000 feet, it goes to 100 kilometers, to mix my metric and English things. It crosses the official line of space, which is an arbitrary line. They keep moving it up and away from us. When we first started doing Raccoons, it was 50 statute miles. And then they moved to 50 nautical miles. And then they said, no, it's metric. It has to be at 100 kilometers, which is a little bit further. And now they're talking about making it at minimum orbital. But it is an arbitrary line. You're getting everything, all the effects. You cross 75,000 feet and you're there. But we're restarting the 3-inch rocket program. And we still have one of them from before, that's fully flight capable. So we're getting the dust off it, cleaning it up, making sure the systems still work. We're thinking about upgrading the systems because we can cut half the weight off it from when it flew last, maybe 10 years ago. And that launches out of a large launch tube. And that before was just carried up by balloon. But we're going to be carrying that up by the tandem airship. And then when we fire it, it carries 10 CubeSats, to the 100-kilometer line. And that program will probably carry the launch tube and rocket without firing it, because the FAA really likes shakedown tests like that. We'll run the whole system maybe this summer. That's on the summer agenda. And then it'll be really a regulatory issue getting through the launch license, because that'll be a full launch license requirement before that's ready to fly. But we'll be bringing that program on pretty quick. And then we have our ML rocket, which is our orbital rocket. We've done all the ground testing of that rocket. It's a 2-stage to orbit when launched from 140,000 feet. But we have not launched that in 2-stage configuration yet. We have the booster stage completed, But we don't expect that to fly on its ground test for the 2-stage for another 1.5 years. That got bounced back from another airship that we're putting together. So we do want to take PongSats and minikubes to orbit, but we're a few years away from doing that.